So I've been tagged by Shaved on the Dark Side. I have a link to his channel below. He's a YouTuber, and this is called the Fragrant Friends tag. And I'm gonna answer all the questions from this tag, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time landing on this channel and you still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click that bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. And that's right, this is the Fragrant Friends tag, and I was tagged by Shaved on the Dark Side. He's a YouTuber that does YouTube videos on fragrances, and I believe he also does shaving videos. And so he's asked several questions, and he tagged me, and he also tagged Lanier Smith. And I think Lanier Smith already did his video. I'm a little slow getting videos done because I have so much that are already planned, so I can't just do them right away. But these are really cool questions, and I'm gonna put my glasses on so that I could see the questions. I have them right in front, but you can't see the questions. So here we go. The first question that is on the tag says, how many bottles do you own? So that's a question that a lot of people are asking me lately because, you know, I've been doing this for quite some time now, 5+ years. I started doing videos in 2012, late summer, I think, around there somewhere. And of course, you know that this is my second channel. So I've been doing it for a while now, and I've got a pretty big collection. My collection is teetering around 1,000, perhaps give or take somewhere around that number. I've been collecting since then, and I rarely get rid of fragrances that I don't like. Although, yeah, I do get rid of some of them, but I don't buy things that I don't like. And then sometimes if I don't like them after I buy them, some stores do take them back. So that I'm glad that that happens, but a lot of the times I'm really happy with what I get. And I'm a collector also. And having all the fragrances is fine, except because I live in San Francisco downtown, I don't have a very big space. Having 1,000 fragrances in a very tiny space is not the easiest, but it's doable, it's happening, and I have around 1,000 fragrances. The other thing is that it's great to have 1,000 fragrances because it gives me variety of content to talk about on this channel. Whereas if I get a fragrance, I use it a little bit and get rid of it, and my collection's around 200, let's say, I would not be able to do all the content that I'm doing on this channel for you if it was just around 200 fragrances. Let's say even like 500. Because of the fact I have about 1,000 fragrances, I'm able to, you know, crank out like top 20, you know, oud videos, or you know, top 10 compliment getters, all that good stuff. So I'm happy to have the collection, and I'm happy that it keeps growing. And as long as I can keep up and do this, I'll continue doing videos for you guys that you can watch and enjoy from my 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 fragrance collection or fragrances collection. So that I see in the future. So the second question is, how do you store fragrances? Well, as I said, I live in downtown San Francisco, and space is limited here, but here's what I do with my fragrances. If it's an expensive fragrances that comes in a big, you know, gift box, coffret, really like big old presentation, I keep those. Sometimes I leave the fragrances inside there, and I only access them when I want to wear the fragrance. But majority of the time, even though I still have those really luxurious coffrets or gift boxes that the fragrances come in, or the coffins, I take them out and leave them out, and they're stacked around, you know, the different brands that I have in a dark closet, very dark. It's a concrete building I live in, and it's cool. Like most of the time, it's really cool. So in the dark, in the cool, it's always great. But sometimes, you know, I have fragrances laying around because I'm about to review them or do a video about them. So there's that. But the majority of the time, they're stored in the dark concrete closet. The other thing with storage is, sometimes if I pick up a designer fragrance where it comes in a very thin kind of a box like this, those get thrown away, especially after I Instagram a photo with the box and the bottle, all that good stuff. Once I do that, I kind of get rid of those because those take up a lot of space and I don't need those. So, but I'll store away the fragrances, of course, in the dark concrete closet. Second question is, what was your first fragrance? Okay, the first fragrance is probably fragrances from my dad and my uncle. Both were fragrances or cologne when I was very young. I was born in 1970, so I started smelling fragrances in the mid-70s and so forth. So my dad wore Pierre Cardin and Dior Eau Sauvage, and you know, various fragrances like that. And my mom wore Rive Gauche and what do you call it? Fiji and various fragrances like Nina Ricci and things like that. So I got the whiffs from those fragrances, and I was spraying them. But the very first fragrance that I had for my own, I was very, very excited. This was probably around 83 or 84. I was around 13, 14 years old, maybe 12. I can't remember exact dates, but it was DRAKKAR Noir. That was a very popular fragrance at that time, and I absolutely loved the bottle. I love the fact that the bottle was matte finish. Very, very unique compared to other bottles because other bottles were clear and glass. This was glass, but still it was matte finish and it was dark and it was kind of sexy looking bottle. Really, really trendy, chic, all that good stuff come to mind with that. And it smelled great, like masculine fougere of the early 1980s. So that was my very first fragrance and I loved it. So I wore it, and then probably 3 years later, I bought another bottle. And then when that bottle came, I remember this very, very vividly. The sprayer did not work, so I had to go get it returned, unfortunately, but that's another story. So DRAKKAR Noir was my very, very first fragrance for myself that I bought. With my mom's money, of course. So what is my newest fragrance? Okay, so the newest fragrance that I bought is a fragrance called PATCHOULY Indonesiano, right here, by a brand called FARMACIA. It comes in a little gray pouch like this. And the bottle is all silver gray, or maybe just gray, I guess. This right here. Man, this is such a great patchouli fragrance. Wow. Like sometimes patchouli can be like chocolatey. This one has the elements of the chocolatiness, but it's all cold. Like it's more cacao rather than like a creamy chocolate. So this is a brand I don't know much about. It's an Italian brand, and it's FARMACIA SS. And something else here, ANNUNZIATA, I think is what it says, as you can see. But I want to explore this brand a little more. This was around $155 for 100 ml with a Parfum. And again, it's PATCHOULY Indonesiano. So it's very, very new, recommended to me by Lucky Scent. So I ordered a bottle, and I wanted to check it out. It's an awesome patchouli. Like if you like a good patchouli, like a really intense, dark patchouli, this one definitely is the one for you. Next question is, what is your most expensive fragrance? Okay, so I buy a lot of fragrances, you know this, but I guess depending on the quantity I get with the price, like I have a 500 ml bottle of Ambre Rousse from Parfum de Empire. So it's a 500, and it costs around $550, but it's a 500 ml bottle. So would I include that as the most expensive? No, I don't think so, because I've done the math with various fragrances that I have, and the most expensive fragrance is probably one of the very first ones that I bought that was the most expensive at the time, and I was like shocked that I was spending that much money. It's called Creed Windsor. It was available for 4 days at Neiman Marcus here in San Francisco, limited edition thing, and you get it in the Creed atomizer here, and it is, you know, for 4 days you can buy this limited edition unvaulting and then revaulting of Creed Windsor, which later they created a fragrance called Royal Mayfair, and that became, well, Creed Windsor became Royal Mayfair. But I still think Creed Windsor is a tad bit better than Royal Mayfair, but still, they're very close. But at the time, I spent about $450 plus tax for this. That's how much I have left in here. Creed Windsor, it's vaulted. So I don't know if they'll bring this one back out. I'm not sure if it was if Royal Mayfair was just a replacement or something that made it look like a replacement, and they'll eventually bring this back. But when I do the math, $450 for a 50 ml in atomizer rather than a full-on bottle is pretty expensive. So I think this is probably my most expensive fragrance that I have. Next question, what is your best bargain fragrance? So my latest best bargain fragrance is this fragrance from an Italian designer house that's called Mandarina Duck. And this is Mandarina Duck Black Extreme. Now this is not that brand new, and I think it's around 5 years old. So maybe 4 years old, I think. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but Mandarina Duck Black Extreme, man, this is so, so good. It smells so quality. And to me, this one smells like Xerjov's Uden. So if you like that fragrance, but it's way too expensive for you to spend the money that Uden is, this is probably even better than, like people say, Edition Blanche smells like Uden. This is really, really close. I think that Xerjov Uden has more floralness in there, but this comes really, really close to it. If you remove the floralness of Xerjov Uden, this actually takes the cake. And it's around $45 on Amazon for 100 ml. Now I find that the Black Extreme, which is the EDP edition of regular black, much, much closer to Uden than the regular black, if that makes sense. So if you want to explore this house, it's a small like luggage and accessory kind of a store, or I mean, a brand from Italy. And I've seen one store once somewhere, I can't remember when I was in Italy, but other than that, I never see these anywhere in the stores in Italy or in Europe in general. And of course, I don't see them in the States here either. So, but they're available on discounts. Like this one, like I said, is $45 on Amazon. And I just bought a backup bottle of it because it's so good as a cheapie. 45 bucks for 100 ml. Cheaper than your regular designer fragrances that you buy in the department stores, suggested retail. Plus this smells really, really rich and expensive. So check it out. Mandarina Duck Black Extreme, lovely, lovely fragrance. All right, the next question is, what is your favorite fragrance store? Wow, this is a tough question, but my favorite fragrance store in the world is called Jovoy in Paris. If you ever make it to Paris, you have to go to Jovoy. It is a fragrance lover or perfume lover's dream come true store because all the niche brands are there. Well, not all. Some of the bigger niche brands have their own boutiques nearby, but when you go there and you get to the lesser known or the smaller niche brands, you can walk around and explore the bigger niche brands around. Like By Kilian has a store nearby, Parfum de Marly has a store nearby, Ex Nihilo has a store nearby. Of course, Chanel is nearby. Memo Paris has a store nearby. Maison Francis Kurkdjian has a store nearby. So once you get to Jovoy Paris, you can explore the rest of the neighborhood and smell all the fragrances. But my favorite store happens to be Jovoy Paris. It's Jovoy in Paris. It's just an amazing, amazing store. Really, really great customer service. And people there are really lovely. And of course, the owner, Francois, is also a very nice person who I've talked to many, many times. And great, great house. Also, they have their own perfumes, Jovoy, and of course, Jeroboam. But if I wanted to find a store that's online, that's great. Lucky Scent, hands down, because I can't order from Jovoy. Of course, they're a European store, and they don't ship to the US. But Lucky Scent is one of the best online stores for niche perfumery. So you can get everything there pretty much. So Jovoy in Paris, when I want to go there and go into a store, or Lucky Scent here in the States to order online. Of course, Scent Bar is also great. And I hear that they're also opening up a brand new location downtown LA. So 2 locations in the LA area for Lucky Scent. So that's pretty amazing. Next question. What is your favorite fragrance in your collection? Now this changes frequently, really, really frequently. But currently, my favorite fragrance in my collection is Parfum de Marly's Carlisle, this one right here. Now this is a unique take on some of the fragrances that I already own from Parfum de Marly. It's almost like a combo of 2 of my favorites from Parfum de Marly. Those 2 are Herod and Layton. It's almost like taking the tobacco from Herod and adding the freshness, the white amber or whatever kind of amber they have in Layton in here, and getting with the Herod and Layton and getting its own original fragrance. So if you like those 2 fragrances, you'll definitely like this Carlisle. I really recommend it. Currently it's exclusive to Paris boutiques, but I think they're getting a wider release soon. So you might want to check it out. But I absolutely love this one, wearing it, and it just a beast of a performance as well. So you've got to check it out if you don't know it. I highly recommend it. And if you know me and you like Layton and Herod, this one is like a combo of those 2 fragrances to me. So this is Carlisle from Parfum de Marly. So what is your next fragrance to purchase is the next question. This is a tough question because I don't really have any fragrance that I want to buy right now, but I have a long list of fragrances that I would buy. And there's a long list of older fragrances, and of course, whatever comes out new next, I might be interested in buying. But at this time, there are a few fragrances from the house of Frederic Malle that I want to buy. There's fragrances from the house of Chanel, the exclusives. There's new fragrances from by Kilian. There's new fragrances from L'AROCHE. So it depends on what my mood is and what I feel like usually. And it also depends on, like, if there's a promotion, gift with purchase, discount, all that good stuff. I'm a very thrifty shopper and I look for the best deals. I love expensive fragrances, but I also love my cheapies, as you know. The next question is, what is your dream fragrance to purchase? Well, my dream fragrance to purchase it's a tough question. I mean, come on, it is really tough. But if I can have a bespoke fragrance created with my own ideas, that might be the next fragrance, the dream fragrance I would have. But other than that, I don't really have a dream fragrance, I guess. I can't think of anything actually. It's dream fragrance would be anything that I don't have in my current collection. Probably those are all dream fragrances that I eventually want to own them. But a real dream fragrance would be something that I came up with, like bespoke, that I would talk to a perfumer and they would create something original for me. That would be my dream fragrance to purchase. And then the last question is, who would you like to do this fragrance tag video? I'm tagging 2 people. I'm tagging 2 lovely ladies who I've met in person. First one is Lola Sense, who I know from here in my neck of the woods. Lola, so you have to do this video. And also, I'm also tagging Beauty Meow, and I also met her recently in Dallas when we went for the Lush's Guerrilla Gallery in Dallas. So both of you, please do this video, and please make sure to mention me, and also please make sure to mention Shaved on the Dark Side. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Let's get a conversation started. What are your favorites from this questionnaire that I just answered for you and for Shaved on the Dark Side? Please list those down below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.